Hello, this is the phase two of the risk mitigation lessons. Now, let's look at the common risk mitigation strategies. Like I said at the beginning, when we did some definition, we said mitigation means putting certain things in place in order to reduce the severity of an event. Organizations are usually left with four choices in this regard. Four choices. And those choices involve risk avoidance, risk reduction, risk transfer, and risk acceptance. Now, the first choice is risk avoidance. So, risk avoidance means eliminating activities or sources that may trigger risk events. You could just say, well, I'm not doing this. However, the flip side of risk avoidance is you may also lose out in the benefit that is hidden within the risk. Because, like I said at the beginning, when we did some definitions in previous lessons, we said risk can be positive and risk can be negative. Positive risks are opportunities, negative risks are threats. When you avoid a particular risk event, you might be losing out on the opportunities behind the risk. So organization will choose to use risk avoidance if or when risk impact is severe and the probability is very high. You know, when the anticipated impact is huge and the likelihood of it happening is high, the organization may say, well, there's no need to participate. An example, deciding not to enter a high risk market or discontinuing a vulnerable product line. These decisions must be taken with all seriousness because, like I said, avoiding it means you're also avoiding the opportunities that might be there. The next approach is risk reduction. In risk reduction, we put in place controls to reduce the likelihood or impact of the event. When to use this? When risk cannot be avoided or must be controlled. An example is implementing security controls, staff training, or redundant system. You know, so in business, there are certain things we cannot run away from. So we put controls in place to minimize the impact. Risk transfer is a third mitigation strategy, and it means shifting risk burden to a third party or third parties through contractual agreements such as insurance. When to use? When impact is high but organization lacks control. Sometimes too is mandated by law. For instance, in Canada, you can drive a vehicle that do not have vehicle insurance. So sometimes the law mandates you to ensure you put those controls in place. Like I said, an example is insurance policy, outsourcing, or service level agreement with a third party. This allows you to shift part of the burden away from yourself to a third party who may be more equipped to deal with those issues. Then finally, we see risk acceptance, you know, and it involves acknowledging and accepting risk without further action. When to use? When risk impact is low or mitigation cost exceeds the benefit. If the cost of controlling the risk exceeds the benefit you will gain from that control, you just accept. But when you accept, it's also important to put in place some contingency plans. Example is accepting minor risk with limited impact or highly unlikely scenario. So How do you select what method or approach to use? Some of the factors involve risk severity and likelihood, cost benefit analysis, risk appetite and risk tolerance level, regulatory requirement. Like I said before, sometimes the regulation mandates you to put certain things in place, like insurance. Selecting the right strategy is very important because the choice of strategy should align with the goals of your organization and with the risk appetite and the nature of the specific risk. Multiple strategy may be applied to complex risk. So a combination of all four, a combination of some of them might make your system more robust. Here I present some tools and technologies for risk management or risk mitigation. For instance, security. We talked about cyber security platform. So these comprehensive tools for detecting and responding to cyber threats in real time. And some of those techniques are as follows. The Sentinel One Singularity, the CrowdStrike Falcon, and the Tenable Vulnerability Management. These tools are available in the market that can be used to protect yourself and your organization from cyber attack. In terms of intelligence, today AI is everything, and there are AI-driven analytics that will help you um, have a robust system in place. And this advanced predictive system using machine learning to anticipate potential risk or potential threats. Some of the tools involve predictive risk scoring, anomaly detection system, natural language processing for threat intelligence. In risk assessment, there are also a lot of tools available. These are structured platforms for evaluating and prioritizing organizational risk, such as process utility, logic gate, metric stream. These tools are available and they can be used to ensure you have a robust risk management system in place. Other ones involve automation and integration. These tools help to streamline workflow and connect with existing systems. Examples are automated incident response, API-driven integration, workflow automation for risk management, and the final tool is the visualization tool, such as dashboard and reporting. They are virtual solutions for real-time monitoring and executive reporting, such as real-time risk dashboard. Dashboard shows you what's happening, and you're able to monitor and take proactive steps. Key risk indicator visualization tools, customizable reporting engines. This help to automate your risk management system so that you can respond in real time. Now, cyber or digital risk are high risk, and the likelihood of it happening is everywhere, is very high, particularly for small businesses. Large establishments usually have the tools or the financial resources to procure state-of-the-art detection system. But for entrepreneurs and small businesses, it's very important for us to be aware of what goes on out there so that we can put, some cost-effective measures in place to prevent cybersecurity issues. Some of the strategies include the following. First, zero trust architecture. You must assume no implicit trust within your network. This requires verification for every user and device accessing resources regardless of the location. You can't trust anybody, you can't trust anything. The second approach is the cloud security posture management. is for you to continuously monitor your cloud infrastructure for misconfigurations, compliance issues, and security gaps. And when those gaps are identified, you bridge the gap as soon as possible. AI driven threat detection. So you must leverage machine learning algorithms to identify patterns indicative of threats and anomalies before they can cause damage to your system. Finally, you create security awareness amongst your team. Regular education for employees on recognizing phishing attempts, social engineering tactics, and proper security protocols. When everybody is aware of their roles and responsibility in preventing risk, then your system becomes more and more robust. So here are some tools available in the market that can be used. The Sentinel One, CrowdStrike, and Microsoft Defender provide extended detection and response across endpoints, cloud workloads, and networks. These tools are available in the market, and depending on how much money you're willing to spend, you can choose which one suits your business. Vulnerability management is another one. So they are Tenable, they are Qualys, they are VD, VMDRO, and Rapid7. So there's a lot of these tools available that offers continuous vulnerability assessment and prioritization based on risk and risk severity. Identity security is another one. So there are various tools available there. And one of the most common one is the multi-factor authentication system. That's very common today in everything. It helps even as individuals. It helps you to safeguard your bank account and other very highly important tools. Now, that's the end of phase two of the risk mitigation strategy lesson. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for taking the time to look at this. And again, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe for more risk smart insights. I will see you in the next lesson. Thank you.